Hey traders, I wanted to review a few of the trades that I took today. If you're receiving my email trade alerts, you should have gotten this email earlier today. If you're not on my email alerts and you want to be, you can email me at mark@premiumtrader.com. I'll leave the email address in the description as well. So the first trade you can see there that I took was a trade in Netflix. I sold the 392.50, 390 put credit spread and received a credit of 59 cents. I'm risking $1.91. The risk is calculated by taking the difference between the two strikes. In this case, it's $2.50. And then you subtract the credit received, and that gives you how much you're risking. And as I mentioned in the email, it was a pure technical play based off of the bounce off of the 50-day moving average. So if we look at a chart on Netflix, so this is a daily chart. And you can see yesterday I was looking at some charts, and Netflix was one of the charts I was looking at. And I saw this red candle yesterday, and I realized that it was getting close to its 50-day moving average. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So when I saw this red candle yesterday, I set myself an alert on my phone so that if Netflix got down to 400, it would send me an alert. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Because I knew I was going to be really busy at work and not have time to really watch it. So I wanted to get the alert so that way once I received the alert, I could go in and immediately enter a trade. And so sure enough, it reached down to the 50-day moving average and it bounced off perfectly. I mean, it dropped below just a little bit, but it bounced off and then went up the rest of the day. And actually I was able to close it out later in the day. So I was only in this trade for just a few hours. If I pull up the trade, let's see. So we can see that I entered it at 11:08 and I got the 59-cent credit. I did 10 contracts, so it filled at 4, 3, and 3. And you can see I closed it at 12:55 and I got out for 23 cents. So that was a nice quick profit in just a few hours. Real quickly, I'll show you how to add an alert in your phone, in the phone app. You can see on the bottom row there's a few tabs. One of the tabs is alerts. So if you just click on that tab, and then up top you can go to search for quick alert and type in the ticker symbol you want. So I can put in Netflix. And then it's going to bring up a screen that's going to give me what I want to use as my alert. So I can do last price, I can do bid, last or bid. There's only two options there. So I always leave it as last. And then I can do trigger if it's greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, greater than, or less than. So in my case, I think I had it less than or equal to, I didn't put exactly 400 because I knew 400 was going to be roughly the area that it bounced off. So I may have had 400.50. And so you can hit create alert. And so that alert will trigger once the stock drops below 450 or 400.50, and it would give me a pop-up notification on my phone, and that's when it would prompt me to go to look at a trade. I know the mobile app so well, it only takes me literally probably 30 seconds to place a trade. So in this instance, I'll show you, I would just go quickly to my watch list. I would type in Netflix. Go to the option chain. It's already set to vertical. If it wasn't set to vertical, I would change it to say vertical. And then I scroll down, and I kind of have a rough idea of what credit I like to receive. So I also look at what the expected move is, which is that plus or minus 13 as well in determining my strike prices. So anyway, I would just quickly scroll down through, and let's say I want to get, roughly a 37-cent credit. I typically like to get 50-cent credit. So I would just click on the 37-cent bid, and I review the trade and hit submit. Then I had a couple trades that I rolled, and I've had a few questions about why did I roll these today versus waiting until Friday. So ideally the best time to roll is when the stock hits your strike price. So in this case, my original strike price was at 44.50, and today Micron Technologies hit 44.50. So I went in to look to see if I rolled it to next week, could I roll it down a strike or two? And I was actually able to roll it down 3 strike prices, all the way down to the 43 strike, and still get a credit. If I wasn't able to roll it down, then I probably would have waited until Friday, because there was really no advantage to me rolling today at that point. So it's, it's kind of that 50-50 decision of, do you roll it now to allow you to get at a lower strike price for next week, or do you wait till Friday hoping that the stock will recover back up and you can close the trade out and be done with it? And of course, if we look at Micron, and let's look at a 5-minute chart. So you can see I probably rolled my trade right around lunchtime today, and just an hour later, Micron shot up. So, if I would have just waited a few hours, I probably would have just left it alone. But again, I knew I was going to be pretty busy today and not have a chance to really watch it. So I went ahead and rolled it once it hit my strike price. And actually, I closed it out later today because it shot up so much. I was able to close out Micron for 22 cents. So if we go look at the trade history for Micron, this is one I've been rolling for a few weeks. So if you've been receiving my trade alerts from the beginning, this is a trade that you would have been in from the start. Back on 5/8 is when I put this trade on and received a credit of 51 cents. And then I rolled it to the next week and got a 2-cent credit. And then I rolled it again to the next week and got a 23-cent credit. And then I rolled it today and got a 1-cent credit. And then I closed it out for 22 cents today. So over this, 3-week period, I got a total credit of roughly 55 cents. So that's not too bad. Again, if I would have closed this out in the beginning, I would have taken a pretty significant loss, because my strike was 46 and the stock, I think, had dropped down to 44, 45. But by rolling and sticking with it, I was able to keep getting credits and then finally close it out today for an overall profit. And then Etsy was the other one. Similar story with this one. I had sold the 72 strike in Etsy yesterday, and I got in a little too soon because Etsy dropped after that. And by the time I sent the email alert out, I think I had suggested for anyone who was going to get in to do the 69 strike price. It had dropped that much. So anyway, today it hit my strike price. I looked at it and I was able to roll down 3 points down to the 69. So I decided to go ahead and do that and got a credit of 5 cents. But just like Micron Technologies, if I would have waited, you can see Etsy recovered. So I probably rolled mine around lunchtime today, and you can see it recovered back well above my strike price, up to 76. So I would have been totally fine if I held on to this, but I'll be stuck with this until next week, and hopefully I can close it out then. That's all I have. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm behind on replying to everyone's emails, so hopefully this weekend I can catch up on that. Thanks.